What's up, Star Trek fans? The Enterprise D made an appearance in New York the other day. This was a really cool advertisement that saw the Enterprise D swooping into the 3D box, this rectangular image advertisement board that's in Times Square or in New York. I really don't know that much about it. Maybe some of you guys are familiar with this. This could be a very popular mural advertising, Videotron. I don't know. But either way, if you've seen it on Twitter and seen it around, it's amazing. I almost wish there was a even better version of video of it, but some really cool moments of this, man. So spoilers going forward for everybody. We're at episode 9. We don't know yet what's going to happen in episode 10. So we're here to talk a little bit about that, but also to talk about some of the images and the bridge and about the Enterprise. So here we go. You've had your spoiler warning like you wouldn't believe, and you should know by now, and you should have seen it by now, to be honest. But some great photos have come out from the Enterprise D. They're awesome. I had the privilege of seeing some of these earlier on, although different versions, and very cool. It's awesome to be able to look at these. I think they did a phenomenal job. It's like, I would say 90%. And I don't know this, but after watching some of the analysts out there, it feels like they got the Enterprise D 90% correct. And correct is a weird term because the ship was essentially basically destroyed, you know what I mean, and had to be rebuilt, remade several times over the years by Geordi and by whoever. So you're not obviously going to get the exact ship. So with that being said, we're basically seeing like a 90% accurate ship, which makes perfect sense. Not everything is, but I'm not the most observant person out there. If you show me something that's close enough, I tend to believe it. My wife is the opposite way. She notices things. I'm a very two-dimensional thinker. The only thing I noticed that stuck out to me that I was like, oh, the chairs are different. The two front chairs, but those were the most destroyed thing in the movie Generations. So none of that matters because it's a different ship. It's not quite the one you knew. It's a restored version of the one you knew. And so I love it. The fact that this team built this ship from scratch is unbelievable to me. Like, it is so beautifully done. And in the time, how did they... The more I think about season 3, the more I'm blown away that they had time to collect the entire original crew, that Terry Matalis was able to pitch this season to the original crew, including Patrick Stewart, and then they were able to begin assembling the Enterprise D classic ship, the bridge, and also put the story together. Television, many of the problems sometimes that Star Trek TV could have is that it's under a rushed constraint. It's like, we've got an episode next week. We've got to have this many episodes. Let's go. You wrote that episode, now write the next episode. And I'm talking about from writing to production to shooting. They are under the gun in TV like you wouldn't believe. And Star Trek is notorious for that, and also notorious for being able to get it done. But once in a while, or a lot of times, you suffer from that, whether it's budget constraints or not the best script ever. You had to go with some cuts and takes maybe that weren't the best, and you didn't have time to fix it or figure it out. All that stuff adds up, and you expect it when you're doing TV. And Enterprise suffered from a lot of this. All the writers had to go right from Voyager to boom, okay, we're right back at it, Enterprise, let's go. And what blows my mind is they were able to do all of this in order to give us what we got. So for some of the people that are complaining about some things, I see the criticisms this week were sort of, little nitpicks about certain little things here or there, and it's Battlestar Galactica, and I understand what you're saying. I'm sure the people that wrote this are, big fans of Battlestar Galactica, so they probably thought, hey, remember in Battlestar Galactica they did this? So I get it. But I kind of feel like it logically makes sense, though, in this story and the story they're telling here, and it's interesting enough and different enough to me that I enjoy it. overwhelmingly positive response to this week's episode. I told you guys I think the ratings, the Google search history, the analytics, and et cetera, are going to be unbelievable. And as we continue with this video right now, I just want to say that if you can and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We have gained 600 subscribers in 2 weeks, and I am 100 subscribers away from being able to unlock all the features of this channel. I've been very lucky to have my other channel do really well for years and years, but starting over from scratch on this Star Trek channel is a bit of a challenge. And, unfortunately, it's taken the whole season to be able to maybe hit the number of 1,000 subscribers. So that's not bad, though, and super happy about the way things turned out. And we're going to read some of your comments, and I'm going to react. This is going to be a long, fairly long video and episode. So if you can, please subscribe, tell a friend, get them to subscribe. We're on our way there. And if you want to support this channel, just keep leaving comments, likes, and sharing it everywhere, and tweeting it places, and whatever you can do. And if you want to support the channel like Mac did the last week, Mac, I really appreciate it, bro. Obviously, I don't have donations or super chats or super thanks unlocked yet on this channel, but you can go to paypal.me/Joe Cronin Show, and you can send me whatever you want, like Mac did. So I appreciate it, bro. You don't have to do anything, but I that was very nice. Thank you, bro. That being said, I'll show you my D if you show. I don't know. There's so many D jokes going on. Look at that. Somebody made this online. I thought this was hilarious. People are really busted up over Todd Stashwick, over Shaw, Captain Shaw. Captain Shaw could come back. Maybe he gets zombified by the Borg and comes back to life as a Borg because he dies. Maybe his brain gets taken over by the Borg, and that keeps his body alive, and then they're able to resuscitate him later. I don't know. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe there's a whole bunch of other ways he could come back. I don't know. But they could do it. They could figure it out. I don't know how, but they could do it. James says, DS9 is my all-time favorite Trek show, but I have a special place in my heart for TNG. That's why I was so utterly disappointed with the first 2 seasons of Picard. Yes, I think we all were, really, mostly. Some people were okay with it. What's up from Brazil? How you doing, Marcelo? John Doe says, I never really liked the conspiracy bug theory because remember they needed the needle to breathe, so they would have to change them to people to tell if they were infected blood. Oh, yeah, they needed the little thing needed to stick out of their neck. Yeah, so, well, my thing was, well, maybe the bugs had been assimilated by the Borg. That'd be kind of cool. Or maybe the bugs found another way to, to dig into the brain stem of humans or something. I don't know, but you're right. There would have been that little bit of a hangover, John. So, I mean, hey, that's why that's why the bug theory was a bit of a goof, I think. And just similar to the Armis one, although I think there's more validity to the Armis one. Lazarus says, I'm from the NTG era, but a DS9 than Star Trek. Strange New Worlds is creeping up the list. Yeah, Strange New Worlds is kind of like, Strange New Worlds it's like, I find it fun in a showy Hollywood way. I just don't, I'm not in love with Strange New Worlds, but I did watch last season, and I did look forward every week to every new episode. So I will say that Strange New Worlds has been nice. Now, my wife walked out of Picard Season 1. My wife walked out of Picard Season 2. And my wife lost interest in Strange New Worlds about, I would say, 5 episodes in or so. She kind of was like, she didn't hate it, but she was just kind of like, oh, yeah. I was like, hey, there's a new Strange New Worlds episode. And she was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm playing World of Warcraft. So, Strange New Worlds is interesting. I'm watching it. And I've liked a little bit of it, and I did a review on it, so you can go watch that video. And at the end of this video, I have a bunch of videos. If you haven't seen them, go. I'll try to plug them here at the end. But Strange New Worlds I give it a 6 out of 10, which is that's a thumbs up in my world. A 6 out of 10 that's a thumbs up. It's worth seeing. What does Jeremy Johns say? I love Jeremy. I've known him for a long time. But Jeremy Johns says, good time, no alcohol required. I think it's more of like I think sometimes it's a good time, no alcohol required, Jeremy. But I think some other times, you could throw back a couple and get a little buzz. I think if you have a little buzz, Strange New Worlds is a lot funner. But I give it a 6 out of 10. So, Picard seasons 1, 2, and Discovery, um, they do not get I'll never watch them again, which is crazy. I'll watch any other Star Trek. Um, They zoomed in on Seven's face while he was struggling. Yeah, so this guy thinks Shaw's not dead. Simon says, Simon's really nice. Simon's oh, thanks, buddy. Love you, bro. My little guy came in for a minute. My youngest has watched a little bit of Star Trek with me, so that's been pretty cool. You're an awesome person. I love you, man. What if I wasn't though? Simon, thanks, bro. This is crazy. I don't do. It's like praise makes me super uncomfortable. What? No, no. I'm saying yes if Mom says yes. Okay. So ask her. If she says yes, then you can have it. Okay. I'm saying yes. Yeah. Okay. Mhm. Love you, buddy. You're an awesome person. I love your channel and your mindset. That's nice of you. Shaw, yes, I loved and also hated him for the asshole he was, but as you said in your last video, he had a lot of things to go through with Wolf 359. In the end, he came through. Would love a show with his name and 7 of 9 as captain of the Titan. I think it will happen now that Star Trek Legends Terry Matalis is in charge. Please, we need this. Problem is Terry Matalis hasn't been given anything yet. They gave him this season and they haven't said anything else yet. We are plugging and rooting hard for Terry Matalis, obviously, and I hope that something happens. So we're hoping that Terry Matalis gets hired. Please, Alex Kurtzman, whatever you guys got to do, get this guy going. He knows he's good. He's good. He's the best we've got so far. You know what I mean? There's problems. People still have problems, but this is the best we've got so far. And the least they can do is give Terry Matalis something to do, where he can prove himself when he doesn't have this legendary cast back, right? So he's got new faces, new Star Trek, and they can give him a new series maybe or something where there's not like this assumed crutch, because some people are going to say, oh, he had the crutch of the whole TNG crew returning, and that's true. He did have that, and that was a big thing, but it was good, I think. And it could have been bad, and if it was bad, people wouldn't really be watching it anymore, and they are. So it's like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, right? Tom Brady left the New England Patriots. They haven't won a Super Bowl yet. Bill Belichick wants to win one without Tom Brady to show, hey, it's not just Tom Brady. I can do this on my own. Now, I think Terry Matalis has already proven that with 12 Monkeys, and this just adds to it. But there's going to be a lot of people out there that say, oh, how can he really do Trek without this cast, And certainly it would be nice to see this cast return. You know what I mean? Why not? Why not bring them back again? Dude, wouldn't you like to see them come back again? I mean, at this point, I know it's greedy because this is supposed to be their send-off, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Great insights, great data from DiePPX by YX. My bad, bro. Thank you. It had to be Borg. It's Picard's biggest enemy, says repair, update, repeat. It's a great point. I forgot I should be hearting all these. I should be hearting you, giving you guys hearts. Give you guys hearts. The conspiracy bugs are in this season. They are the main villains. They were originally the Borg, and they were introduced, but the specific Borg didn't continue because of the writers' strike. So they were destined to always be the conspiracy bugs. Damien, I didn't know that. I don't even know about that. But that's interesting. If that's the case, then they kind of are, aren't they? Joe Bishop says, I have to check Picard out. Well, you've already been spoiled if you watched that video, but I went from excited to crying like a baby. I'm a 40-year-old man. I watched this alone, and by chance my wife would not understand what this meant to me. It's amazing season, and this episode touched every chord I have in my body. I remember being emotional in season 1 and episode 7 when Picard visited Riker's house. Yeah, I agree. But this was on a whole nother level. I'm speechless. The carpet joke fire. Or, okay, he says. Could not have imagined a better moment. It was so well written, directed, and played. I agree, man. And Terry Matalis directed episodes 9 and 10. So Terry Matalis is killing it right now. His writing staff is killing it. They're all just killing it. Seeing the Enterprise D in the scene with them on the bridge completely flawed me. Or floored me, maybe? I mean, because if it flawed you, then that's... I mean, it might have flawed you too. It might have flawed and floored you, to be honest, Vulcan. Federico Garza says, I already know Enterprise D was coming back from a mile away. Well, I think a lot of people kind of thought we were... I mean, here's the thing. I've actually heard multiple other reviewers say the same thing I did, which I found to be really cool. Because it seems like I expected the Enterprise D to come back. I thought there was a big surprise that we were going to see the bridge. I thought that. And some people who got early access kind of gave that away in a way by how they talked about what you're going to see. Just by saying, when you see episode 9, you're going to cry and it's unbelievable and blah, blah. That's what I envisioned. Okay, they're going to, whatever. But I just I was not prepared for them to not just visit it like a museum. It was like them getting on it and seeing it and then taking off with the ship was way more than I expected. And so even knowing that this was going to happen kind of blew me away. And that's the thing. Even other people who sort of saw the spoiler stuff that was out there and they finally were like, all right, I got to go check this out. I heard from several people who had not been watching the season who got spoiled on this, and then they said, all right, let me check this out. And they watched episodes 1 to 9, and by 9, they said even though they had seen that this was going down, the way it happened put them in tears. And the fact that people knew and you still brought them to tears, like men in their 40s who knew and then watch. I mean, it's a magical thing to be able to touch people like that. You know what I mean? Even if you're somebody who doesn't even like this season that much, and you're like, I don't even like the season that much. I don't like the story that much. I don't like whatever. But that moment was unreal. Like, and you're loving that, and you're just gonna love. Maybe you're just gonna love episodes 9 and 10. Maybe you don't like the other episodes, and you're just gonna like episodes 9 and 10. That's fine. I think this season was made for a variety of different type of people. Episodes 1 to 4 are a wonderful story. And then episodes, 5, 6, 7, 8, I would even include 8, 9, and 10, like the end of 8. The end of episode 8 really begins the reunion of the crew and really begins this movie. And it would be really cool. I think I will a lot of times go back and start watching from the end of episode 8 and beyond. But I also know that I'll probably go back and watch this from the beginning. Because it really does feel like 3 acts that need to be watched, culminating with this 2-part theatrical feeling that we're getting here. And I don't even know what's going to happen in episode 10 yet, so, here we go with that. Terry Matalis said that more will be revealed, apparently, and the Borg cube was not in the nebula. Well, we know the Borg cube was not in the nebula because in the new trailer, spoilers, if you don't want the spoiler of the new trailer, which, by the way, we'll break down the new trailer as well in another video coming up, because there's a trailer out that we'll talk about as well. Please watch that video later when it's out. So, spoiler, the Borg cube apparently is hiding in Jupiter. I don't know if it's in Jupiter or near Jupiter, but apparently the Borg cube is right in our galaxy, right in our solar system, right in our galaxy, right in our own backyard, at the planet Jupiter. So that's interesting because they lay in a course for Earth. It looks like, so it looks like we're going to open up episode 10 at Earth, and the Earth defenses and the shields or something are holding them off slightly, so they have time to go. All right, we'll go to Jupiter now, where the Borg cube is. So all this ending is going to take place right in our backyard, apparently. So we'll talk about that when I do the video. But the Altar of Madness, thank you, man. He says the Borg Queen's face is covered in black Armus goo. That's why you won't see it. That'd be kind of funny. John Doe says your explanation of how much of Lower Decks is true canon is exactly how I feel. Yeah, I guess I agree with that. So what I'm saying in my comment yesterday, your balance of seeing between historical canon and logic of shows, I see it the exact same way in Lower Decks. Yeah, it feels like, Lower Decks, everyone kind of behaves like a cartoon, and it's over the top. It's not really Star Trek, but the things talked about in Lower Decks and many of the stories are canonized and canon. So that is understandable to me. So yeah, I think we're on that same track. Federico, thank you, man. I'm back, bitch. John Doe. There's so many comments, actually. We're going to have to make a part 2. Anyone can art. I'm 40-year-old. Star Trek The Next Generation was a big part of my childhood and gut punched me. I didn't expect this. I too was crying, a hot mess by the end of it. Was so flooded with emotions and so much came back to me all at once. This guy should get a raise and Paramount should throw a stack of money at a new show or at least a season 8 of TNG. That would be awesome. They already got all these people in the same room, so they're willing to do it. I'm willing to watch Picard, and I, too, bashed the hell out of the first seasons. I said, I'm not going to watch this. I heard a couple of good reviews, things, and I decided to hell with it, and I'm glad I did. I made my wife watch it. I had to buy my wife a book she wanted. I bought my wife a book she wanted, and then she agreed to watch the first episode with me. And she thought, okay, I'm a little interested. I'll watch the next episode. And then she was like, okay, this is better. And then, forget it. Now we're glued into it. She was smacking me in the head and begging, like she likes it. I like it. Dropping down a little bit to Simon is back. Simon says, I wonder if that is the CGI goo face that's been bossing people around in the galaxy. Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if that will ever be explained. Or maybe Matalis is not going to explain it because he would think we are clever enough to understand that was the Borg Queen just communicating through, sort of through the changeling physiology, so the face appeared to be like that. The thing, though, is the goo face very much looks like the changelings when they revert back to their natural form. Maybe this was the projection of the Borg Queen all along for the changeling to relate. Yeah, I don't know, and it is a bit confusing, and I don't know. Play the High Note says Doomcock must be seething right now. Yeah, he's probably still saying it stinks. But there you go. I think we've gone through enough comments at this point. We'll do more later. So this is part 1. We'll have part 2 coming up later. And also look for my reaction talking about the trailer that just got released the other day for the teaser of episode 10, which seems to be sort of the beginning of the episode. And we'll talk about it. Thank you guys. Please subscribe if you're new and you're enjoyed this video. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We need all the subscribers we can get. Go on your alt account and sub if you can. Thanks for being here. This is Star Trek Late Night, and I hope you guys leave comments under this video, and I'll read those as well, and read more in part 2 throughout this week. And, of course, we'll be here for the review of episode 10, and then we'll be doing a big breakdown of the entire season for a while, and it's very sad that this is coming to an end. You know what I mean? It would be really cool if there was another season coming or something more coming after this, because, and please tell me they did not rip down that bridge stage. Oh my God, please no. Please tell me this stage is still there somewhere. Like it's hard to believe that you would build this and then it just gets ripped down. It's like, oh my God, it's such a it's a sacrilege, you know what I mean? You almost wish that some rich millionaire Star Trek fan would pay them $10 million to cut this part of the lot off and like take it with them to a mansion or something. Um, if I was on this bridge, I would faint. I don't think I would be able to function if I were on this ship, on this stage. I don't know how I would not have the composure to deal with it because it means so much to all of us. We'll see you later, guys. Thanks for listening.